Okie dokie. So, we've come to it at last. There, as you see the board, look how many things aren't on the board, guys. Really quick. We're gonna do a zoom. We're gonna do a Mazda commercial. A zoom, zoom, zoom as we go.
I haven't logged in yet. Okay.
Oh, you better get in here, Nick. Jeez, it's time for our bi-weekly Patriot game, Wrath of the Righteous. And Tim and Adam and Nick and Jason, thank you guys so much for your support. This will be the end of Book 1, the end of the Grey Garrison, the beginning of Sword of Valor. I have so much to say about this dungeon. It is not even funny. There will be a Tommy Uncut about this, because there's I guess the line between what is setting up a fair ambush for PCs and what is like, hey everyone, it's time to re-roll, haha, coming down. But anyway, last time the party was able, and you guys have your hero points, there's no need, because we started super late because we had to talk about some meta stuff. The party has finally pushed their way through the Grey Garrison. They have brought the plot device to the plot device and received several visions about how, because of their brave and noble actions, the plot of the Demons of the World Wound to get everybody along the border and then corrupt the Wardstones and half-fiend slave everybody has been thwarted. As these visions are flowing through the minds of the four of you, you're still kind of like half woozy, as before your very eyes, my GM Fu may be a little weak today. I've added a third monitor, and I can't really find my mouse a lot. Before your very eyes, manifesting in a sort of translucent-y, magic-y sort of effect, comes a somewhat, like I said, transparent, beautiful demonic woman, bat-like wings spread out from behind her. Her brow has a couple of enormous horns coming out. Her eyes glow like goblin red. She regards the four of you, and she seems to be able to see Kieran with a smoldering expression as she... This only delays your kind's extinction. But at least I can take steps to hasten your own. At this, Zorak over here comes running into the room, his weapon raised, and the demonic woman waves her hand across the room. You guys feel some sort of magic-y something hit you, but it seems to bounce off. However, poor Zorak lifts bodily off the ground. He drops his weapon. Both of his hands go to his throat as he's clearly being, like, Darth Vader choked. The woman seems frustrated at this. She snaps her fingers, and at this, Zorak is thrown into the wall, falls unconscious. The death throes of your wardstones seem to be protecting you from my magic. No matter, they cannot protect you from, and she begins, like, channeling energy, my slaves! Snaps her fingers. Down here, a gate opens. At the very southern end of the room. You guys can see several demons of all shape and size staring back at you from the abyss, getting ready to march forward in your direction, and 6 about humanoid-sized, bloody skeletons carrying spears hop out in unison. The energy that infuses the four of you pulses back outward. You are no longer stunned, and the rift seems to, almost as if someone were to grab a door and push it, it slams shut. The woman begins to shake as the magical feedback pushes into whatever it is she's done, and she disappears. We will use the initiative that is already... Oh, well, we deleted it. Never mind. Can we roll initiative, actually? One more time, if and you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I was at the 78, I think.
Oh, no. About that, Jason.
Don't we wish?
That's cute. You
I forgot we have Tempe. Why did I even ask? It's so nice to be able to put initiative actually in Roll20 now. This is super cool. Bang. I add that. Boom.
Ooh,
and
I rolled really good. -82.
Haha! Ah, you did roll a 16 on the dice. Yeah, it ain't bad. So I got that number and 14 and got
Somebody's going last.
yeah, that summon is Tempe. Beat the natural 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I need one more, don't I? I'm an adult. You can't tell me otherwise. All right, here we go. Good. Add turn. Who's not on the initiative? Grizak.
I don't.
Tempe.
Not on the initiative.
Tempe is. I guess I should put a number in. I can't just type random nothings here. And we got a 10 from Dalvin. And is that everybody? That's everybody. Cool. Okay. So then at the top of the combat, if all 4 of you could really quickly make a perception check for me.
Okay.
All right.
Was the roast demon wench one of the same ones that we saw from our visions previously?
I believe, yes. I'll go back and check really fast. It throws a lot of names that I have not quite. Yeah, yes it does. She was the one who used a deep purple crystal to try to corrupt the Wardstone in the first place. There's also a woman with like straight up horns for eyes. They are 2 separate entities. Anywho, as the combat begins, the 4 of you get your feet, and the first thing the 4 of you notice is the wind has picked up in the room. Not like, gonna be thrown everywhere. Though maybe like Kieran feels Kieran's self like, this should pick me up bodily. I'm a very small person. As Tempe, as she regains her feet, basically has come to a Super Saiyan 2 at rest. The wind flows out from her. She, despite her advanced age, she, Wheel of Time fans will understand when I say, as an Aes Sedai, when you look at her, she is both of completely advanced, venerable, mega old age, and also as if she had just come of age for her race. Grizak, who once upon a time had just kind of silver sparklings, every last one of his scales has turned a bright, brilliant silver. For not a mechanical benefit, but his claws have grown about 3 inches in length, his tail is a little longer, his fangs are a little more sharp, and his head, I'm not super sure what the top of the lizard folk head looked before, because I know we're using like Warhammer art for the token, but upon his head now, the crest of a silver dragon. As he stands, he probably also has grown about 6 inches and is about 6 inches wider as well. Kieran, as Kieran starts to get his feet, shifting his feet over to shift his weight, he, for about a split second, Kieran realizes Kieran's in the first world, and then Kieran is back from the first world, and when this happens, his butterfly wings have been replaced with, the wings of a corvid, and everything has changed colors, and then when he moves, he's changed colors, and the parts are all different again. And last but not least, Delvin, as you get your senses back, you realize that the brand you once had is gone. And though some people before might confuse a Forgekin with a hill giant, yeah, I might keep that too. Though some people might have been like, hill giant, that thing is misshapen. Now Delvin just basically looks like a very, very tall and broad dwarf with a beard long and resplendent, resembling a river of molten brass. Top of the initiative is... Actually, before I go top of the initiative, I will say, for the purpose of this encounter, and this encounter alone, you kids, everyone in the party has damage reduction 10 over good, regeneration 5, which is shut off by unholy damage or evil spells, resistance 10 to acid and fire. You automatically dispel any 3rd level or lower darkness effect they enter. I'm really glad no one played a drow, because I would shut off your shadow magic, because the room is very bright now. In addition, each of your attacks are treated as good for the purposes of breaking DR, and do an additional 2d6 points of damage against creatures with the evil subtype, and once per round is an immediate action, you can roll a d12 and add the result to any d20 roll. Shrieking, the first Babao charges Grizak.
Just a question.
Yes.
What is their modifier?
Their modifier?
Yeah.
Metagaming is what their modifier is, sir.
Well, mine's a +9, and we both have the same number.
Oh, you mean the initiative. That's fair. All right, fine. I thought you were talking about something like, what are they going to attack with? You can't hurt me. Yeah, fair. You're first. The poor Babao slinks back in line as he realizes he's cut the line. No cutsies.
My bad. I'll go back.
Oh, go back. The ref shows up and he blows his whistle. That
I
Babao is
also have a
offsides.
quick question. Are we still out of magic?
No, everything is fully refreshed. There's
Oh,
actually a mechanic that had you died in the Grey Garrison, you would have been true resurrected.
I will
Rip
move
Lamb.
over to my Silver Dragon mount,
Okay.
disappear into the shadows.
I'm not
Hopefully.
sure if there's many shadows left on me. I'm basically like a walking fishing lure at this point. Without
But I'm behind you, so they don't know where I'm at. And I will attack this one, so I will not be accused of metagaming.
I mean, there's
Killing the one
no
that's
metagaming. Oh, yeah, it's fair. Okay, make it so. I'm sure I can't
it
beat
is
a
within 30
41.
feet.
Yeah, no, not on my best day. Okie yeah, that is exactly what you needed to confirm. He takes 57 points of bludgeoning damage. Still standing, but not
Non-lethal
looking good.
bludgeoning damage.
Noted. Kieran whips the sling back and forth, and as every time Kieran moves, Kieran phase shifts in and out of the first world and constantly looks like comes back with the bird feet have been replaced with like weird fungal suckers. It probably feels weird on Grzak's back. And then like leans forward, there's a bit of a flip, and then he comes back with the lower half of a cricket, not unlike a grig. And ouchie happens. Anything else?
Nope.
Well, a stealth check to go back into cover if you would. Okay,
Ugh.
so I could beat that. Only one of them is able to, though. So the one... well, I gotta roll one more. I keep rolling 5. There are 6! Well, bam! Okay, so only... Not the one who's about to go sees you. One of them sees you and begins chittering. And now I'm gonna go attack this paladin. If it please the court! He's gonna resolve here, actually. He can charge. He has a long spear. As it goes running... Do not bing at me, computer. Do not tell me I'm typing in the search bar. I will fight you. I'm gonna get pretty soon, I have a Shure SM7B sitting behind me, and I'm super stoked about that. But I don't have the stand for it yet, so I can't use it. But wham! Whoop, whoop, a doop. I gotta scroll to the bottom. That attack targets Grzak. A 21.
Let me double check, actually. I say... Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Silly me.
Well done. You're flat-footed also.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay, so we have...
Wait, I'm flat-footed.
Right, you have not acted in the combat yet. So 15 points of piercing damage plus 7 points of precision damage as it runs up and stabs into your like chest.
Ouchie.
And this one doesn't have to move, so we'll do the same. But no charging here, so I gotta knock it down by 2. Bam, boom, bam! For a 20 to hit your flat-footed.
That hits.
For
Why
8
am I
points,
flat-footed again?
because you have not acted in the combat.
I didn't realize this was a surprise round.
It's not a surprise round, it's the first round of combat. Do you have uncanny dodge?
No.
Because everybody's flat-footed in the first round of combat until they act, unless they have uncanny dodge. 8 points of piercing damage, 11 points of precision damage. This one will... Well, he doesn't have to move either. So same idea.
Well, there it goes. Okay.
20 to hit for...
Flat-foot?
Yep.
Yeah, that also hits.
For 15 points of piercing damage, 5 points of precision damage. These
Okay.
weapons are coming from...
Don't forget you have DR something.
Yeah, you have... I will read it again. Damage reduction 10 over good. And you're next.
Just a sec. I'm still trying to calculate all this damage here.
Okay. So then, do I hear holding action?
No, I'm just trying to calculate my damage right now.
Okay. So if it's going to take a minute,
Because
it's...
honestly, I'm probably, even with all that DR, I'm probably knocked out right now.
Okay.
I think
So
you only took 6 points of damage.
you were at full health. We'll go over this again. At full health, the first attack hit you for 5 and then 7 precision. The second one failed to break your DR, did 11 precision.
Right.
The third one did 5 points of damage and 5 precision. So you've taken 10, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31, 32 points of damage as I track it. And then at the start of your turn, you get 5 back from regeneration.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am going to move here and do my natural attacks against this guy, this guy, and this guy.
Okay.
So the ones that are in the corners. So
Sure.
just read my separate attacks as going in that direction. for
Gotcha.
each one.
So if I understand it right, it's 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. Well, definitely some of those connect, and all of those do 2d6 extra damage, like I said.
All right.
Oh, I guess I should have rolled that.
Oh, yeah, if you would.
So the one that does connect is an extra 11, so a total of 20 damage on the first attack, and then a total of 16 on the third. Or
Gotcha.
on the second one.
Alrighty. You go to bite in. You can also, like I said, as an immediate action, you can add a d12 to the 9 if you would like.
All right, I'll do that. Why not?
Oof. Well, I can't help you that much. Sometimes it's bad. So the first one misses really wide. The other two rend in, and as this happens, there's a flash of silver light, and bits of the demons that you carve into just kind of burst and fade away into nothing. They recoil and shriek. As this one, they're kind of all just going to target the big scary guy who's right in front of them. Plus that with we got the long spear, 16 to hit.
Nope.
And then it passes to Delvin.
Okay. Well, I am going to move forward, muttering to myself, and I am going to cast Color Spray.
Okay.
So, and Delvin knows what he's doing, but Jason just suddenly brain dumped. That's going to be D20 plus casting attribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first thing that would happen is you'd need to roll d20 plus caster level plus mod plus 4 magus to roll to cast offensively. Assuming you don't want to provoke 1 to 4 times.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to crit to provoke that many times, even if I do have DR. So, mod plus caster level plus...
4.
Okay, that'd be plus 4.
Because you
Okay.
have combat casting.
Oh, yes. Does a 16 make it?
It does not. But you can, you either lose the spell, or as an immediate action, you can add a d12 to that, or as
I
or use
will-
a hero point. Nice.
I will add the D12.
Well, the good news was the DC was 17. So it resolves, and then the next thing that happens is all of these guys have spell resistance.
Okay. It's a first level spell. So my DC is 15
15 plus spell, or
plus.
10 plus casting stat plus spell level.
Right. But then, first things
So-
first, we would need a d20 plus 5 to try to
Okay.
break their SR. There are 5 that can be affected. Okay, the first one is successful. The second one is not. Thank you, Adam. Third one is not. Fourth one is not. So much for these mythic heroes. Jeez. And then one more, if you would.
Okay.
Which is so. As you go to cast the magic out, it seems to wash over some of them, and they just kind of look and chitter and laugh at you. But the one in front of Grzok that's taken a lot of damage, he kind of just gets like an eyeful. Seems to hit him, and I will make a will save. I add a number to that, then it's that one. Bam! 16. My DC being 10 plus spell level plus... I forget. God.
Casting stat.
Plus casting stat. Thank you, Adam.
Okay. I'm sitting at a 19.
Okay. Fair enough. Then in that case, the one in front of Grzok drops its spear and begins spinning as it is stunned for a round.
Now, just out of curiosity, aren't they all dazzled for a round?
No.
What did you cast?
Color spray.
Color spray.
Oh, I think you are asking because mythic. Because we don't quite have that yet. Right now, it's you've cast color spray at somebody with 5 or more hit dice.
Okay.
And then next is we got 2 more of these buys. That one, and that one is the one that is capable of seeing Kieran. So I'm going to try to stab at the tower defense sitting on the paladin for a 30 to hit
Yeah.
for 13 points of damage, most of which your body just kind of like forms around. It goes to stab where there is a like into your chest, and then for half a second you have the form of like your core becomes the trunk of a tree with a sizable knot hole. And first world stuff is fun to flavor text, I'm learning. And through the hole it goes for no damage. The second one is this one, so he does nothing. Debbie's on.
All right. Okay, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and do a sound burst right here.
Okay. So then,
Which will affect those 5.
cool. So then, spell resistance 5 times if you would.
All right. And what's the? How do you do that one more time?
D20 plus caster level plus just your caster level. So just D20 plus 5.
Just caster level.
Mhm.
Okay.
Unless you have bonuses for like being an elf or something.
Right.
All right. So
That
17.
passes.
15.
15's not good enough.
Okay. Oh, actually, okay. Hold on. Yeah. Do I have to do the 12 like right away?
Once per round is an
Or-
immediate
or,
action. You can go ahead, and if you want to add the D12 to what is a 15, you could.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the 15. Actually, I'm going to spend my hero point and add 4 to it, and then I'll save that the D12.
Okay, that works. It resolves.
No,
No.
and I'm gonna do the D12 here.
On that 7.
There's a chance, yeah.
Okay, cool. So then that's a 12.
That did not work.
It did not. So we got 2 of them will be affected.
Yeah. And then it's a DC 21. And then it's
Fortitude?
D8.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, fortitude.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. And then it's normally a D8 damage. Is it? Do I add 2d6 or whatever, or is it just 2d8?
2d6 comes from each PC's attacks. So all of your like weapons and things have an extra 2d6 on them.
Okay, so not magic though.
Right.
Okay, so just a D8. Full 8 damage.
Nice. Okay, so then to go back and check my numbers, that one and that one. So the first two basically are going to take 8 damage, and that means this one, if you would like to flavor that kill.
I scream, and most of them seem to be unaffected. One like twitched a little bit, and he seemed to be a little hurt. There's like a little blood coming out of his ear. But this one seemed really affected, and like he was screaming out loud until his head burst.
And Sindel has joined the party.
Scanners.
Also that. Alrighty, top around the second, it goes to Kieran. Kieran, you notice as you go to like swing again, Grizok's mouth, well, the mouth missed. His claws are dripping this gross reddish slime. It looks like as it drips off him and onto the floor, it sizzles as it hits the floor. However, Grizok seems to be unaffected.
Nice.
The remaining 5 Babao kind of just look at each other and begin skittering and chittering as they begin to realize they're in over their heads.
I don't believe... I don't know which one attacked me, but I'm going to go after this one. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm going to go after that one.
Sure. Okay. That is the thing. If you want to make a stealth check first. Which I cannot beat. Fair enough. And it was... Can you ping it again for me?
The bottom left.
Bottom left. Alrighty. So he... Bam! Whap! Ouchie! As the little tiny turret does its thing. And then another stealth check for sniping, if you would. Which I, again, even... No, that's a 22, because you're taking the minus 20. I feasibly could beat that. I add 8 to this. Yeah, never mind. Nobody does. The highest is a 19. Okay, anything else?
Nope. Reload.
Reload, of course. So then I've got 1, 2, 3... 5-foot step back. 5-foot step back. Actually, this one's gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to set up a flank. As he moves over, obviously, the poor mongrelman lies on the ground unconscious. The Babao seems to not notice him.
Did that provoke?
No, it... oh, yeah, it would have. Yes, you are quite correct. Please do.
All right. I will attack.
Okay, fair enough. And then an extra 2d6, of course.
Oh yeah.
I see.
That on
I
the
see.
first attack.
Cool. Appreciate you. So 17 points of damage. Nice.
It should be really hurting.
He's not looking good. He gets bit pretty hard. And then he's going to try to... Now he's got a flank. 1d20 plus that, targeting... It feels bad that I'm constantly targeting the paladin, but when you have a bunch of demons come out of the world wound and they see a paladin who's very shiny, well, what do? 24 to hit ya.
Yep, that hits.
For 3 points of damage, essentially, plus 8 points of precision. And then the second one has a 26 to hit for an amount of damage that, like, as he goes to stab in, it just kind of bounces off your scales. There's a flash of radiant silver light as a bit of his spear, not like for mechanical detriment, but some of it just breaks off. Sizzles away into absolute nothingness. And you've attacked, and I have one more. As a free action, he will drop his spear, and he's going to reach out with his Acropa claws and his bite. We will target the one who foolishly tried to magic at us. Bam! So then I have a 15, a 16, and to confirm the critical, never mind.
Yeah, one hits.
Okay, cool. So goes in
I'm
with
looking really bad now.
what? What'd you say to me?
Sorry, I'm looking pretty bad now. By the way,
Is that sneak attack really getting through all the DR and stuff you have?
Yeah, I was gonna.
It's
well,
only
yeah.
a DR of 10, right?
Yeah, 10 over good.
Yeah,
Fair
he's
enough.
already taken like 40 damage, so
So I do have a chance. Ha ha! And then
yeah, I'm gonna heal next turn.
of course.
Yeah, I am actually. I've taken exactly 40 damage now.
Nice. So then 7 damage goes through, tries to bite into the dwarf's beard, and the river of molten bronze says no. Rizak gains 5 HPs back for his regeneration and is up.
So how many did I take?
7 minus 10.
Okay.
Minimum
I
0.
like that number.
Yeah. It bites
7
you so
minus 10.
bad your wounds begin to heal.
So I feel better.
Not quite.
Well, I'm gonna cast Lay on Hands on myself because my
That's what paladins
silver hide is now red, but as much of it is gross demon hot sauce blood.
It's more like Tabasco instead of sriracha.
Yeah, kind
And I
of.
only get a measly 8 points back.
And then 5 from your regeneration, of course.
Yeah, I brought that into account.
Okay.
I'm still at less than half.
Oof. Well, good. I can kill the paladin and all will be well. Haha.
Yeah, but you still got like a full round action.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, for one thing, I want to move back here because
My mount is leaving me.
because getting flanked really sucks.
Yeah.
And X gonna give it to you on this guy.
Okay.
X gonna give it to you.
What?
Okay. 22 hits. 10 does not. 19 confirms.
Ow.
So then that's... if you want to flavor that kill.
Grazak yells, I am sick and tired of these damned beasts. I say as I just punctuating every one of my words with just slamming my claws into this thing. And then its head is just mush.
And it
And now
falls.
my hands look like I just dunked them into a bowl of sriracha.
You guys are making me hungry once again. That always happens on stream. I always get very hungry. As Grazak starts shouting this out and tearing in, he's speaking, I assume, in common, but there are undertones of exactly what he is saying in Draconic.
Oh, he's screaming in his Draconic tongue.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry.
We'll save that flavor text for later. And now I'm gonna... what do I do? I'm 5 foot... No, I'm not gonna 5 foot step. I'm just gonna stab Delvin. That's what you get! Haha! Well. So you mean there's...
Okay.
I would just like to point out that's the third 20 you've rolled against Delvin.
Yeah, it's time to kill you guys before the mythic tears get out of hand! So, 16 points of damage, which is enough. So,
Okay.
6 points of damage, basically, as this guy stabs in, and you guys all see the long spear goes into Delvin's throat and, like, pushes in and then is pushed back, as if there were something, like, on the other side forcing it out. The sound of a hammer ringing fills the chamber. And Delvin.
That was this guy, or who was that?
Right here.
Corner boy.
Okay. I am going to attack and cast, since I can cast a touch attack, touch spell with my attack. I'm going to attack the gentleman right in front of me. And today's spell of choice is Corrosive Touch.
Okay. Understood. So then, first things first, if you would like to cast defensively.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to that for all of my gishes that I play. Today's spell of choice is... Flips through spellbook. Disintegrate! Yep, that's more than good enough. You got it.
Okay. So now I roll my attack goodness.
That definitely connects.
And so now we go to the damage part, which is D8 plus 4, so 13 damage with a +1 cold iron weapon.
Okay.
And you said my effect, my spell went off too.
Mm-hmm. And then if you would roll spell resistance.
Oh, okay. Spell is... Come on. I had started putting it together for the other one.
Cast your logo.
And so the spell hits him, and it just kind of like washes off. But there is 2d6 extra damage as
Okay.
you swing your oversized smash it.
You know what?
D12?
I'm gonna take the chance and roll the d12 on that spell resistance.
Sure. Not quite.
Woohoo!
All the mythic surging in this room has not done a lot so far.
So, okay. So 7 points plus 4 is 11 plus 2d6 is 9, so 20 points of damage to.
Fair enough. That definitely didn't tickle. You swing in. He melts a little bit. The sound of hammer on anvil echoes once again throughout the room. And if that is all, my friend, this one is going to...
That'll do it.
What do I want to do? This is bad. This babao is going to 5, 10, 15, 20 over here. These guys kind of start to skitter back into the wall. The look on their abyssal faces is, surprisingly enough, for creatures of pure chaos and madness, is a look of fear. As this guy tries to lean in at Grazak for a 22.
That hit.
For 2 points of damage, as once again the scales reflect. And Stampy.
Alright, Tempe's gonna come over her, and then heal Grazak. Actually, I'll do that in the opposite order, but you get the idea.
Sure.
And she's gonna heal Grazak for 9 plus, what level are we again?
Level 5.
5? Yeah. So 14 points of health, and then I'm gonna move to where I'm at now.
Gotcha. The wind coalesces
Plus
around
4?
Grazak. Plus 4?
Yeah, so a total of 14 health.
So 18, right?
What?
Fae Foundling?
Oh, yes, Grazak has Fair Foundling, of course.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Very, very good. As I was saying, the wind coalesces around Grazak's wounds, and they begin to knit. And Kieran...
Still invisible, right?
Make a stealth check. Because technically you have to do this as part of a movement. Then you being a tiny creature can just hop from one shoulder of Grazak's to the other, and then come out a different Fae thing on the other side. But why, yes. Yes, you are. The most invisiblest.
Which one looks the worst?
A fine question, my friend. The one in the corner. This one here. Okay. And with the knowledge of the planes check that you've made, all 4 of these, 6 formerly, now 4, they are the common folk refer to these creatures as blood demons. They are the assassins, murderers, sadists of the abyss. They have a penchant for surprise, and though they have no need to eat, though most of them relish the thought of cooking humanoids on the spit, right, as you do, they can wait in ambush for decades on end. These guys should be over your head. These are much scarier than the dretches and shears you've fought. It is not par for the course for demons, because most of them don't have the... what's the word? Patience to be an assassin, right? It's not murder so much as it's brutal, horrendous evisceration.
Fair enough.
In any case, proceed.
Death to the non-believer.
Not quite. Well, you're targeting the flat-footed. It still doesn't quite hit the flat-footed.
Boo. I can get a 12, right?
Yep. Free 1d12 once around as an immediate action.
That hurts, but
It hurts him, too. It hurts him enough that if you'd like to flavor that kill.
I crawl up in between his frills, and you just see a little gleaming piece of rock fly in, and it hits him right in between the front teeth, and you just see it disappear into the back of his throat, and it crumples.
Rocks fall, one person dies. Fair enough. And then stealth check with the sniping, if you would. A 17, which is a number that is possible for... Come on, assassin demons, go! Okay, so a couple of them are aware of you. That goes 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3. Got it. I know, I was basically talking to myself on that one. But, if that's all, we're going to do our very best to stab at Tempe for, boom! 22 to hit Tempe.
No, not right now.
Got you. So, stabs in, Tempe just kind of, and the spear flies off. He doesn't drop it, but it goes way off target. This one, in front of Delvin, sees Kieran. Kieran has cover. Because now I have to stab through a bunch of people to try to get at him. But, whoop-wah! 21.
I have a base of 19, so I think that's maybe?
That would be, yeah, it would just hit you for 5 points of damage. It scares away from Delvin in fear. Grzak gets 5 hit points back, and I now realize that regeneration is actually, that's relevant. Go ahead and make your turn, Nick.
Will do.
If regeneration is a supernatural ability and you have Fey Foundling, it's an extraordinary. Okay, never mind. You're good. You're not good. You don't get extra healing, is what I'm saying.
You don't roll dice for regeneration
fair.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't adding on to Faith Handling for that.
I didn't think you were. I wasn't sure myself. This is the first time I've actually seen that trait, like, on the battlefield. In any case, 5 hit points back. The blood demons are scurrying back into the wall away from you guys.
Oh no. There is no escaping this. I'm going to move here. As I move, I want to pull out a weapon from a friend of ours that we picked up. The Ranzer Gargoyles. Ranzer of the Gargoyle.
Okay. As you pull it out, it glows with holy light.
Yep. And I'm going to try and skewer that guy. That's one of the two that are against the wall there.
Sure. 17 is a number. What did I do with my bobao? I misplaced it. Have you seen my bobao? Hello, bobao. I believe it hits.
I imagine if their flat foot was higher than a 16, the 17 probably doesn't hit.
Yeah, hang on one sec. I realized I accidentally closed that tab. I'm the best. Please support us on Patreon because I'm so the best. Yeah, never mind. It does not hit, but it's like you lean in. It definitely hits him. It just doesn't quite pierce through.
You could always roll your d12.
Why not?
Grzak curses in Draconic and leans forward, and the spear goes through and through for 17 plus. I assume that 8 is 2d6.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm very happy that you the wherewithal, the ability to put the thing right into the macro.
That's 25 damage.
Yes, it is, and he Bits of him fall to the floor and hiss and spit. And Delvin.
Okay, I'm going to step up and smack the snot out of him.
Okay.
Do I need to, since he has a long spear, you said, reach weapon, do I transit area of attack of opportunity or?
Normally, yes, but you can 5-foot step, so it doesn't, there's no provocation.
Cool.
Nailed it.
That's a roll. Okay, so I get my D8 plus my 2D6 and 4 for my strength. So let's start picking this up. That would be 5, 11, 15.
The sound of a hammer rings out again, and
With a
pain and hissing and agony. Anything else?
nope, not much else I can do.
Gotcha. So this guy here takes a 5-foot step back behind his fellow. As he does so, you guys see a hole in space and time open up. A blackish, purplish, reddish, blah, amalgamation of color on the other side as he steps through and disappears. Of course, that's behind a spellcraft check. If you'd like to know what he did, and he goes to Tempe. He clearly has greater teleported as far away from you guys as he can get as the blood demons are routed.
I'll stay back in Abyssal. What? It's not so much fun to be hunted?
They just kind of look at each other and shriek and scream in fear.
All right. I'm gonna try and murderous command this guy.
Okay.
It's gonna be behind a wall of a couple of things, but is that a
Spellcraft?
Thank you, Jason. Oh, yeah,
that's-
Jason is also aware.
All right? Nope. That's
A 6. Not a failure. It's not a skill check or not a save or attack roll. So you could possibly with a D12
sure.
maybe.
Nope.
Ah!
Not even.
Not quite.
Not even
no.
a little. That's okay.
Mm-mm.
That's okay. I think these guys are. I think we're about done
Mission
anyway.
failed. We'll get him next time.
Indeed. Anything else from Debbie?
Nope. That's it.
Kieran, you're on. I'm going to have to research a bunch of fey creatures. So I can... Actually, now, at the top of the turn, as he says back in Abyssal, everybody sees Kieran's body form into... Kind of looks like a Baelor, except the whole thing is just black and horrendous, and it lacks feet. It just has a serpent's tail, and it hisses, and as it opens its mouth, yellow light flares out, and then there's a faint popping noise, and then Kieran is once again not an Anko.
Wait, what?
It turns out I really like the first world.
Heidi bits.
One of them sees you. The one here clearly is in fear and then confusion as you've popped back into normal form. This one has no idea.
I will attack this one.
Okay. Why? Yeah. I think you will. I really do. Yeah. You got it. Make it so. Bam! Anything else, you monster?
So as I show myself and say my bit, and then when I disappear, he starts looking around, wondering where I might appear next, because they don't necessarily know if I'm just blinking around the room or not. And so as he turns back, it goes straight into his eye hole.
He explodes, and it's miserable. And then the stealth check is arbitrary. This one is out of everyone's threat range. He's got 5-foot step, and poof. For the first time in a long time, both in-game and for us, the PCs and GM, it's been a long time since I've seen that much player and DM fatigue over the course of an encounter. But silence falls over the Grey Garrison. We've not come to the end of the session. We have come to the end of the World Wound Incursion. We are 6th of the way through this, and I want to like, sincerely congratulate the four of you, because that was hard. I've never made anything that hard. I've never seen anything that hard. That was very well played on the four of you, despite some things like I talked about off camera with you guys.
We still failed.
Yeah, there were some major miscalculations on our part through a bit of this run through, but
I wouldn't call it a failure. I would call it like a B minus.
People died. That's a failure.
Fair. In any case, my friends, the floor is yours.
Did the babaus blink out?
Yes, when they either died or were like oped out and then went back to the abyss, or the rest of them just greater teleported away.
Are there any spears?
Yeah, there are. I will say all 6 of them dropped their non-magical long spears.
Okay.
And it's suddenly become another looting episode.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got right now.
Okay, so then really quickly, before we go into the looting, you guys have leveled the 6th. All of the NPCs who remain have leveled. You guys have also achieved your first mythic rank. The power that had suffused within you has pushed back, but what remains has changed all 4 of you. Zorak stirs as the combat ends, and he looks around and he sees this, and his eyes go wide. Eventually, the rest of the NPCs all catch up. Really quickly, I'm not sure how many people took a campaign trait for Wrath of the Righteous, but there is some benefit from it.
Delvin.
Which
I
one
took
does Delvin have?
The Foul Brand.
Foul Brand. I'm taking a look here. I see... I imagine that's exposed to awfulness. I see touched by divinity, stolen fury, Riftward Orphan, exposed to awfulness, child of the Crusades, or chance encounter.
Okay.
If he's going Archmage, I would suggest Riftward and Orphan is the one he's supposed to take.
Okay. I think I was off on
Okay.
that. But
Gotcha.
we'll talk about that offline.
Sure. So then, did anyone take a trait from Wrath of the Righteous then?
Yes.
Okay, which one do you have, sir?
Riftward.
You do?
Yeah.
Alrighty, henceforth Kieran has a +4 trait bonus on caster level checks to penetrate a demon's spell resistance. Once per day, he can recharge a charged magic item by expending 1 use of mythic power. Doing so adds a number of charges equal to 1d10 plus his mythic tier to the item up to its normal maximum. So give all your wands to Kieran, basically.
Once a day.
Once a day. All the days. Anybody else? Any other traits from this?
I had exposed to awfulness.
Dope. So, that means as Grizok's wounds begin to knit and the scales begin to kind of like armor form over top of them, Grizok gains +3 hit points per level. So right now that would be, at level 6, 18 more hit points. In addition, when reduced to negative hit points by an attack or effect from a demon, as an immediate action, the PC can expend 1 use of mythic power to heal, equal to 2d6, plus twice your mythic tier, plus faith foundling. Jeez. The healing occurs after the damage is done. If the damage is enough to kill you, you can't activate the ability. And good for the guy who's been attacked by a lot of reach weapons for a lot of rooms.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because that's how it works. Because the initial ability of the trait is that if an effect or a spell that from a demon would kill me outright, I can immediately roll against it to see if I actually make the save or not.
Yep, all of these traits basically level up.
Yeah.
For those of us who might not have taken them, in the next couple of weeks, we'll figure out some kind of workaround. In any case, I guess really quickly, as you guys look around the room, in addition to all of the woman with the weird claw arms gear laying around the floor, there are in the walls, glowing several fragments of basically what it is you had to dispel really quickly. In total, there seem to be 6. They are considerably smaller, whereas this one is the size of like a human's palm. The rest of them are perhaps the size of like, a bottle cap, say. But they continue to glow with power.
So they're like baby ward stones?
Smaller fragments of them, yes.
Cool.
And then as far as like the bodies of all the tieflings and all the teeth, there's so many tieflings. So many tieflings! I will put that in chat in between the coming weeks because I don't want. There are 36 crossbows, 420 bolts, 32 daggers, some glaives. There's a lot. But what I will say is that to do a quick retcon from, I forgot to say this before we kicked on the camera, you guys are free to explore the place. Obviously, some of the, like, looting the dungeon is now stealing from the Crusaders. But, like, if you want to take a chance, like, take some time to look around, you certainly can.
Did you say how many wardstone fragments?
6.
6.
6. Okay. And 6
they're
thorn spears.
And they're like embedded into the wall.
You could pull them out. They're not, like, stuck forever so much as they're, like, proverbially duct taped, right? That kind of thing.
Okay. I mean, at least I don't have to get my hammer out and start smashing the foundations.
Right, they're just kind of like magnetized to the wall.
Grazak is really frustrated at this point, but he's just kind of accepted that he's kind of in the out of the firing pan into the fire. He kind of just looks at Kieran and he kind of like nods over to the stones. He's like, "Take them."
Yes, definitely take them.
And now to get that bit of flavor text, as Grazak speaks in common, there is a resounding draconic under it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm terrible with the lizard accent to begin with, but that's kind of like...
I promise I won't
like
make
that.
you record everything in draconic and put it under. I also don't have the time. Simply just powerful draconic paladin
I don't
flavor
have the
text.
vocal cords for it.
Same. Also,
Anyway.
you guys, as the combat ends, your regeneration ticks off. All of the, like, only for that combat bits, those are all done now. But Grazak remains silver. Kieran keeps blinking in and out. Delvin just looks like a big dwarf, and the wind is still blowing in the room, seemingly through Tempe.
Oh yeah, I guess I haven't even noticed that part yet. Or Grazak hasn't noticed that. He's like,
Cool.
wait, what?
I am actually having a minor brain fart, so I'm going to run to Google. I know what a silver dragon looks like in 3.5. I imagine it will look very different in Pathfinder. Otherwise, I just gave you the sweetest of mohawks.
I mean, do I still have like my bluish tinge to me? Or am I
You
just-
are the color silver,
I'm chromed out now completely.
pretty much.
Oh man.
Rather than a crest, I
How,
should say.
how am I supposed to go? How is Grazak supposed to be hunting when he basically shines like a reflector now?
Perhaps like some like oil to dumb it down. And rather than a crest, as I go look at the silver dragon, it's a pair of horns that sweep back. Almost, they kind of remind me of like an ibex, that kind of thing, as well as several horns that come out the back of Grazak's head.
This feels very different.
Yeah, but it's so cool looking.
Can or cannot?
Everything No, I mean,
That
everything catches the light now. How am I supposed to sneak up upon prey?
we can work on that soon. My suggestion is we quickly search the rest of this fortress for other plans for the defenses along the Whirlwind. And then leave to join back up with friendly forces.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
So as you guys make your way back down, I will grab tokens and I will put them here, I suppose. Oh, bam! And boom! And boom! And everybody get up on here. There are definitely some people who are still got some pretty infected wounds from evil fly monsters. What remains of your forces have begun collecting the bodies. Lan has been pretty picked apart by a couple of those tieflings, but he's been like wrapped up. In addition, poor Malorn has been unstapled from the wall. Belthus kind of just like sits over silently. Benedictions to the fallen.
Yeah. Same here.
As I no longer have secrets
Where are the tiefling bodies?
everywhere. There's a lot. Where aren't there tiefling bodies? Anyway, as I was saying, as I no longer have secrets to keep. There you go.
Is there anything of note in here?
In there? Yeah, probably. As we move into stuff up in that room. Many a thing. In there, there's a lot of grossness on the ground, as this is where that deer, hare, wolf thing clearly was being kept, and it's picked a corner, basically. In addition, give me a perception check, if you would. Oh, well done. That has to be a 2. Oh, dang it, Kieran. Okay, so a long table engraved with a relief map of...
Oh, don't mind. Keep going.
Probably. No, I just saw it and it's funny. A long table engraved with a relief map of Mendev stands to the east in this long room. A dozen bodies lie scattered about the room, each bearing a gaping, empty hole in the chest. Again, like I said, there's a lot of foulness throughout the room where this creature had lived. Other than that, there's nothing super of note in here.
How about me?
You get about the same. You are a little more aware of how disgusting it is.
Great.
I guess check all the rooms.
Okay. So
Go in here next.
Expediting it is a little difficult. We'll need to go one by one because there may still be spoopy things in there. I guess we can not shoehorn the perception checks. Bookshelves line the walls of this small library. Many of the tomes have been torn to shreds, and smoldering piles of ashes fill the room with an acrid stench. One small stack of books on a circular table seems to have escaped destruction. In total, there are 6 books that have not been... It looks like a goat had been chewing on them, but the goat was the size of like Razak. And then you realize his halberd is laying back in the hallway. In total, there are 6 remaining books that seem to be well put together. Actually, there's 7, excusez-moi. 6 of the 7 are history books, tomes on geography, tactical manuals, things like that, each being worth 50 gold apiece. The 7th of which clearly is much more magical in nature. To not shoehorn the detect magics, it is a manual of war.
Cool.
And as this is going on, the rest of the squad goes running through the rest of up here. There is, other than loot, there is no other, like loot as in you have killed a guy, take his stuff. There are no like treasure chests, blah, blah, or anything of that nature. Just some bunks, a clearly an eyrie where like messenger pigeons were carried. The room where the zombies were was very clearly a scrying chamber, which is now befouled and gross. The NPCs all come out and just nothing else to report.
Definitely go secure the alchemist formula book.
Of course.
Just making sure that one was definitely said.
Yeah, you definitely like. There's not. If you killed it, you get its stuff, unless you don't want to.
I guess go to the cathedral.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, running back downstairs. Do you mean Blam?
Yeah.
Okay, just to be sure. Alrighty. Blood and filth smear the floor of this long room. 6 white stone statues of famous heroes line the hall, each clawed, blood-stained, partially smashed, or otherwise defaced. At the far end of the hall, a raised dais holds an upturned alabaster altar. Sitting atop the upside-down altar is a hideous mass of severed limbs that have been stitched together into a vile, monstrous, insectoid shape. Before the dais, 7 ratty bedrolls have been laid out on the floor.
I will
This
stand
must
on
be
Grazak's shoulder.
modern art.
I don't think so. I'll ask Grazak to remove said structure from the altar and then set it back up.
Yeah. Grazak does, and all the while he's grumbling about the almost worst part about this whole thing is how demons are so wasteful of good meat.
Okay.
He's grumbling this under his breath because he knows better than to, freak out any of the warm bloods. But yeah, he's gonna move that big, massive bodies off.
Alrighty. It takes a little
How
while.
big is that alabaster altar?
I'm looking around the room I'm recording in, trying to like get a good frame of reference. It's big enough to hold what is more or less like a small creature, air quotes, of bits. Think, if you will, like 6 core rule books, 2 columns, 3 rows, about like that.
Can I get a check to try and flip it back upright?
Okay.
Okay.
So then,
Might need some help with it, but
Yep.
we're gonna give it a go.
Sure. Yeah, Gruzak is able to do it. So too is Delvin. It takes a while. There's a lot of grossness in here. It's definitely work.
I'll go through my supplies and I'll pull out a vial of holy water and hand it to Tempe and be like, can't you do some consecrating mumbo jumbo thing?
For what is it that you're wanting to do?
I mean, this looks kind of temple-y. Rededicate.
I don't know. Is that something I can do?
Yeah. As an oracle, you do not receive spells directly from a deity, but you are a faithful person.
Right.
You certainly call it like a knowledge religion challenge, I suppose. 3 knowledge religion checks.
Okay. Give me a second. Huh?
Do you not have the spell consecrate?
I do not have the spell consecrate.
Yeah, spontaneous casters got to be a lot more picky.
Did you go Hierophant?
Yep.
I don't know if they have
that
their
is-
mythic stuff ready yet.
As I say, I do not. That is what I'm going to do, but
One of their selected things, you can cast any spell that you can cast as a mythic power.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that right now.
Yes, patience is a virtue. In any case, if I could get 3 knowledge religion checks, the first one's good, the second one's bad, the third one is good. So it's a little shaky, but the wind that is still Super Saiyaning off Tempe kind of like coalesces into the shrine. As that happens, the whole effect does kick back up again, and you guys see on the north end of the wall a outline of a door appears. Very Mines of Moria-ish, if you will. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but you get it.
I'm very interested in this.
I shall go through door on Delvin's back.
Okay, so the door is like it's outlined, but it is closed.
Okay, what do I see on it, around it?
Yeah.
Basically, like
Is it-
the outline of a secret door in the wall is glowing.
I'll try
Okay.
and open it.
Okay. It appears to be locked. It's like there's no handle or anything, but like you go to push and you can feel like a clicking.
This sounds like a job for...
The chime of opening!
Does it work?
Yeah, the Nicean's not quite good enough. Kieran begins to try to figure out how it goes, and he can't quite get
The
it.
chime of non-opening.
Yeah, I know, right? Bleh. Why?
Sure, I'll give it a try. Ding!
Okay.
I forget what you have to do for it, because it's so garbage. I just dumped it.
Its caster level is, I think it was an 11. Yeah. Because I remember you had to roll an 18 to open the front door.
It's garbage.
It's not bad. It's just like it should not have been handed out for this without some kind of indication. Like, hey, this isn't an end all be all. Uh-oh. Yeah. You ding the chime and nothing happens.
Maybe
Again.
perhaps we can get back to this later. We
That
still
was my use magic device.
Okay. So use magic device tells you how to use it, but it's still like you're rolling with the caster level of the chime of opening, which needs to beat a really high number.
I totally like Jason's roll there, because he's like, we were told this thing opens doors. It hasn't opened a single door. Are we using it right?
As far as I am aware, yes, you are. Especially because Adam had to, like, as soon as we realized that front door didn't open, bless your heart for not letting the party metagame Adam just as soon as, like, hey, that doesn't work. Yeah, that item doesn't work. And we all just kind of facepalm collectively together. But yeah, no, I guess, like I've said before, all of the doors in the Grey Garrison are DC 30. So all of them need you to roll an 18 on that item. What?
That was an 18.
But you rolled a use magic device, not its caster level.
So what is it?
Sod it. Fine. It was you called it. We're good. We've had enough troubles here. We will pretend that was the right thing because I am a generous Tommy. And the doors.
If it didn't work, I was just going to put my shoulder into it and see if I could break through it, because the chances of, if the word stones are down, I don't know if Canabras is going to...
Speaking of stones, is the wall that we're talking about made of stone?
It is. It is.
Oh!
You know,
You know,
I'm
that
just
thing
saying.
you keep forgetting to use.
This whole dungeon, I was waiting for Delvin to like reach up, touch the floor of the second floor, and stone shape it, and people start raining on you. And also, you have another means of egress. But yes, you in fact could stone shape it open.
I think I will do that. That seems the fitting thing to do.
Alrighty, and very Mines of Moria, the doors swing open. This small chamber is free of dust. A holy symbol of Iomedae hangs on the wall above a weapon rack filled with swords, crossbows, and spears. 3 wooden dummies wear pristine suits of armor. A shelf holds several leather quivers, each stamped with a golden sun. 2 silver shields hang from pegs on the wall, as very clearly this was a room meant for defenders to rearm themselves that was either forgotten or people couldn't quite get to, that kind of thing. In total, and there is a slight ethical question, as this is technically the property of Canabras and the Crusader. Yeah, no, you're fine. Y'all are mythic. Y'all get to keep it. I was questioning. I was questioning it at first. Be like, you can't take that. Wait a minute. The people are going to want this, but you've gone through enough. All right. I assume the quartermaster is ready. 3 cold iron longswords.
3 what longswords?
3 cold iron longswords.
Oh, come on. Go to the line I want you on, not the line that you are on.
Okay.
When Adam's ready.
Okay.
Okay. 2 cold iron short swords.
Okay.
2 heavy crossbows.
Okay.
A composite longbow with a +2 strength rating. A masterwork cold iron heavy mace. Guys, typing. There we go. 2 cold iron long spears.
Okay.
Oh, I lost my spot. 50 cold iron crossbow bolts, 100 cold iron arrows. A +1 longsword. Five +1 holy arrows.
Ching.
And of all the things to find, an arrow of evil outsider slaying. On top of that, the armor the dummies are wearing 2 sets of masterwork chainmail, as well as a +1 breastplate emblazoned with the sun and sword of Iomedae. And
what breastplate?
A +1 breastplate. And then we've got ourselves the 2 shields, or one of them's a masterwork shield, the other one is a +1 blinding shield. And that is the entire loot table in this armory. There's a lot of it. A lot of it's very shiny.
Okay, so
Just to make sure we got that right, I'm going to put it in the Discord really quickly.
Cool. We are planning to meet back up with other forces.
Mm-hmm.
We take these assets and we'll figure out everything to do with them later, because at the moment I'm considering them salvage.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Can we even carry all this stuff?
The large creature gets a lot of encumbrance, like the strength of a large creature for the purposes of carrying capacity is really big. There are also a lot of you, and like carts outside.
True.
Yeah.
Well, anywhere else you would like to poke your heads in?
there was somewhere. This place.
Okay. And as you move into there,
Just to clarify, we also pocketed what was left of those wordstone shards.
yes, you
Yes.
definitely did. This room was once some sort of museum, but its contents, I scrolled too far, have been smashed and scattered across the room. Even the shelves have been shattered and torn apart in places. The decapitated bodies of 2 knights, their armor and bodies broken and mangled, lie in the ruins.
Are we still on the same map?
Yeah.
Or am I just missing where we are?
Yeah, you guys are...
Okay.
Here, really quickly, I will whoop. I'll just... Yeah, blah, 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 to there. We're talking about this room right here.
Okay. Sorry, I was off on my location.
Gotcha.
Oh, I totally forgot about this room. I take it these knights look like do they have like the Iomedae insignia on them?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They they're the heads of the men are laying in the corner. They're very Sub-Zero-esque. Their spines hang down all the way as if like to make like a whip or like a weird macabre puppet kind of thing. The rest of their bodies are just broken and crumpled. The chest of their armor has been pushed in as if something were to have grabbed it and like rent it open and then pushed forward.
When we get outside, best I can see is pile the bodies quickly, douse them in oil, and burn them. That way they will be desecrated no further.
Well, is that something that we should be concerned with right now? We still have to
No,
consolidate with our forces. With the forces.
True.
I mean, to be fair, we walked around with a couple of heads for like a month and a half, it felt like.
That are presently still hanging on Grizak's belt.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I gave them to Iridith.
That was the evidence of the cultist
Yeah.
deceivers.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So as you guys go looking around the room, also there is the armor of the knights have been rent. Most of their weapons have been shattered like glass. One of them, a dull gray greenish color, lays in the corner glowing with magic. As you guys go to grab it, it is a +1 adamantine Morningstar.
Instead it's glowing green.
It is green and glowing. Green, the color of adamantine.
+1
Adamantine Morningstar.
Ooh, shiny.
I look at Grizak and says, that looks about your speed.
It does, doesn't it?
And you guys both know adamantine ignores the hardness of a lot of things. The true chime of opening of the Grey Garrison has just been found.
But can it kill demons?
As a +1 weapon, you could further the enchantment eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Just gonna pocket that for a rainy day, I suppose.
Yeah.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's Grizak! Boom! Okay. Is there anywhere else you guys want to, like, poke your heads in, explore, things of that nature? There are several rooms. The irony of this being a dungeon is that the pacing of you must go through this so fast means a lot of times things get missed, I feel like, coming through here.
I would say we need to be methodical and go through every room, but we're not going to spend all day about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That
we
makes
have
sense.
enough people to,
Scour this place.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I mean,
okay.
are we on a time crunch right now?
It's hard to say,
there are no active enemies we see. So,
pretty much.
but it should,
Should be
No.
enough. Okay.
Okay.
even if it's just all four of us going in, make a perception check. Does anything look interesting in here? Anything
Yeah.
look off? If it's bare walls with no other deals, there's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. So then you guys quickly, methodically turn some beds over, move through. In the top right corner here, clearly the room the alchemist was using, set up in the corner, there is a masterwork alchemy lab. In addition, though, a very plain-looking sword case with a long sword clearly in it leans up against the wall. There is a small, tattered note, kind of like hanging out of the case next to the sword.
What does the note say?
You go up and Kieran, like, I guess stands on the hilt of the sword and pulls.
Grazak wants to read note. Grazak need practice.
Alrighty, so do a scroll.
I will quite literally stand on his shoulder and help him sound out the words that he has trouble with.
I've actually taken a couple points in linguistics, so Grazak's actually.
So I tried to copy paste it from the AP. I'm gonna put it in general. Maybe that's what common looks like to Grazak. I don't know. I will just read it. That was bad. Oh, jeez. Okay, so Lord Staunton, I believe you will find the enclosed weapon to be a singular and familiar delight, for it once belonged to your old friend Erebeth. She sold it to Khandra the Syrian, of all people. I've no idea what Khandra's been sitting on, or why Khandra's been sitting on it for years. Still, would be, except his home got smashed. Shame. He managed to save the sword and come here, begging for an escort north to Dresden. Doubtless so he could give you the sword and weasel some cash to help him set up a new home. I hope you don't begrudge a creativity I took. Our friend Nyserian serves now as a warm suit for Vermlek, as punishment for only revealing the sword now, instead of when he first acquired it. I suspect the blade will take to your brother's touch nicely. Your loyal servant, Othrubo. As you draw the weapon, it glows with a holy light. The hilt of the sword is modeled in such a way as it looks verbatim like the sword in Iomedae's holy symbol. As that's a thing, I gotta scroll back up. I don't know why it makes these be on two parts of the book. I'm talking to fill the space. Oh, but do.
Why? Because it just wants to make DMs cry sometimes.
Crying. Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
Hush you. Hush it. Yeah, it's a +1 evil outsider bane. +1 evil outsider bane longsword.
You hear a slight muttering under Delvin's breath. It would be nice if they had something that looks like a real weapon sometime.
Boy, that is a real weapon. You don't use the real weapon.
Because it's a superior design. Never mind. Sorry. What is it they say? Grapes you cannot reach are always sour.
You warm bloods in your weapons.
And as the rest of everybody else goes,
hammer is very nice for smashing things that cannot be gouged or bitten into. Anyway,
the rest of the armies.
Friend would probably like us to give this sword back. It seems like this was hers.
Yes, but a quick question. The name of our friend, whatever...
Erebeth?
No. Near the end of the message. Our friend, capital N, small f, 5, E, R, less than, R, capital A, capital N?
Nyserian.
Nyserian. Is that a name we've heard before?
It's not, but you guys do know what a Vermlek is. It and the other body out front, which you now realize because you saw him in a vision in a much younger state And now, of course, like it's 1 + 1 is 2. The other body that had been inhabited by a giant parasite demon, basically the body of the prelate of Canabres. They lay out front, rotting in the sun.
Okay. I just wasn't sure whether or not we were going to need to, not to break the fourth wall, but play Invasion of the Body Snatchers whenever we meet back up with the band.
Of course.
But yes, let's...
You guys head back to the inn on the Solar Winds, and you'll get to keep your same car and your same job, and it's a really good movie, actually.
Yep.
I have no idea what you just said.
It's a really old, like, 70s sci-fi movie. Anyway, so is there anything else anybody wants to do? Any...
It may not be popular, but I would ask to bring the bodies back instead of just burning them, so their families know, because we have no idea how to identify these people.
If we have cart space and it's relatively easy to toss them on board, I say go for it.
Okay.
We've got Grazak and myself and multiple other people. I assume Timpy can heal everyone who's banged up bad, so we should have several bodies to push.
I will definitely cough out my cat and ask Tempe to work some magic.
Might be best if I just move the tiefling bodies and you guys take care of the other bodies. All this blood and meat around, I do not trust myself at the moment. I've been rather riled up with all the fighting today.
Remember, some of them have extra sriracha sauce. Just telling you.
Which you are no longer
I don't
immune
know
to.
what you mean, but I'll take that your warning as meaning don't eat them.
That's fair.
Okay.
Just be careful not to eat anything that might make you feel sick.
So then all of the bodies are gathered up. There's enough, like, as you go around the Grey Garrison, it's very, very quiet in Canabres, whereas moving through, even if you weren't being attacked, you could hear the sounds of, like, a demon shrieking as it flew over, or, like, someone being horribly murdered. Now it's just, like, dead silence. You're able to come up with enough resources to pull everybody back. Again, when the session ends, first things first, I will grab the copious amount of loot from the small army of tieflings that you have horribly slaughtered. Of course, Malorn's gear is retrieved, Land's gear is retrieved, dead NPCs. Tell no tales, but have their stuff. Learn! We had such high hopes for him. Alright, so it takes it's a little faster to get back to Defender's Heart, given the fact that you don't have to duck behind anything. As you guys make it there are several Crusaders waiting outside and also, like, inside, exhausted. Medics are bandaging people up. Those who have positive energy left are channeling it into people. Irabeth is not here. Aravashnial looks in the direction of the opening door and the loud sound of Delvin. And then the four of you step in, and you all look much, much different. There's kind of the cricket noise, almost.
You think we look bad? You should see other guys.
Coming out from one of the rooms upstairs, leaning over the, like, banister to look down at you guys, the portly form of August Gradrum, as he leans down. Oh, what happened to you? Davy don't even look like you're some kind of a bad neighbor. You look like the good neighbor I'm sure you always was. So, and his eyes go, like, as big as saucers as he begins taking the rest of you in. Is that a dragon? Is there a dragon in this inn? Is that... He rubs his eyes as if he can't believe what he's seeing. Tarantula?
fat man.
Oh! Well, I see you haven't lost none of your charm. Fair enough. Now, and he begins like, I think I won't be losing my horse. Is that... Oh, Kieran! What? As, like, Kieran baby dim doors and comes out another form, and then the wind picks up Horgus's shirt that doesn't quite fit him and flutters it a little. Just, oh, like there's a draft in here.
Y'all act like you've never seen a fae before.
Well, not one that just constantly transforms. What happened? How did the assault go? We haven't seen Erebeth in a while. I Navy went out to find her after a little bit, got worried. Arvashnel's gonna, yes, how did it? How fared it? How are you?
Our mission.
Not
We
great.
fulfilled our mission.
Well, you don't have to worry about punishing Malorn for his past crimes anymore.
I take it.
He died with honor, fighting to defend everyone. Here.
If that is not absolution, I do not know what is.
Speaking of absolutions, Isaac picks up the mentions the key of opening. Next time you give us something, equipment for mission, make sure it work.
Oh,
This did
I'm
not.
sorry. And he moves over and he can't see, but he picks up the chime of opening like from you, and he detect magics on it, and he UMDs on it. And I'm sorry, this works fine. Was there a problem?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
It was insufficient to the tasks asked of it.
I see. That is
The
unfortunate.
locks on the Grey Garrison are a little bit higher quality than that can take care of reliably.
That is
It
unfortunate.
nearly costed most of us our lives
Well,
trying to take the gate with this.
but nevertheless, all of you have returned. Is there...
Not all of us.
Untrue. Not all of us.
Forgive me. I spoke out of turn. Is there a draft in here? As Aravashniel is still blinded. You guys see his hair kind of like picks up and swirls a bunch around him. Someone should close that window.
That's probably just Tempe.
It is just tiny woman.
What? Oh, no, you can't see, can you, Aravashniel? That's a hoot. Well, you see, we had a lizard, now we've got some kind of dragon thing. I don't see his wings. He hasn't bathed us in holy coldness. That would be bad, I'll take it. Delvin looks a little more like a right respectable dwarf, if a little on the... He's a little closer to you guys now as he has to look up to look into Delvin's eyes. If not, still a little tall. More, look at that beard. That's such a fine, flowing beard. Well, he strokes his, 5 o'clock shadow. That's the best he can do. Obviously, very jealous. Karen keeps polymorphing back and forth. I don't understand what's going on here. I've seen the wings of a butterfly. He begins playing the song by him. Damn it. I've seen the wings of a bird. I've seen some kind of... I don't even know what all... How did this happen?
When we fulfilled the mission and deactivated the fragment, it changed things. I don't know how else to say it.
When we broke the relic, there was backlash, but it didn't hurt.
I suppose that's the best
There was
way
feedback, and it seems to have resonated within us.
Yeah,
I see. Well, when
what they said.
one powerful magic item touches another, it's not unheard of. Take it as some form of blessing. There were demons here, not overly long ago. Some pulse echoed through them, and then they became no more. I
So
imagine
it worked.
I imagine Canabras is much safer now than it ever was.
So, where is Earbeth and the others then?
I expect they will return shortly. They've had the worst of it. Come back in, bury their dead, heal their wounded, go out again. Fortunately, their sacrifices have not been in vain. I will inform Quendis of Milorn and what he has done. If he has family remaining in Canabres, they will know. There's a... And he kind of like waves. He misses the mark by about 30 degrees because he's blind. But he waves in the direction of like a door to the back in the courtyard. That's where we've been burying our dead.
We brought the remains of the defenders of the Grey Garrison.
That was good of you.
We did not know if there is someone here who may be able to identify them for their family's sake.
It's possible. Everything is still a mess. Depends on who, I suppose.
Yes.
Also, we found some stuff.
We were able to salvage
Yeah.
several items. I'll look around quickly. Is anyone close enough to be significantly listening to us?
Horgus is still kind of attached. There are people who are still in awe of the individuals that have walked into the room, but other than that, not really.
I'll lean over and whisper to, or should I say lean down and
Yeah, take a knee.
whisper to, there are, I don't know if we plan to try to keep the city. I would assume that without the protection, this city is lost.
That's one way of looking at it.
Well, from how things seemed, it seemed it was already that way.
Yes.
But now we can actually push in
Yes.
if we wish to go crazy.
And with the demons out of Canabras, we at least can rebuild. Word is, Queen Galfrey herself has assembled an army and is bringing it along the border. Of course, we have yet to, and he kind of chuckles to himself, we have yet to see anything. But at least with our streets not infested with vile madness, well, we have a chance. We can rebuild. We've yet to go to martial law. The merchants that have stayed here in Defender's Heart, they have been allowed to buy and sell. I'm sure what you've found will go, assuming you do not wish to keep it, will be of great help to the war effort. Again, though, the merchants are allowed to buy things. We don't want them to panic.
If there is still going to be war here, it would seem unwise to give up anything that we have found so far.
Well, if we're not
Anything
going to
that is
be used,
cold iron, we should keep. Yes?
not if we can't use it. I
It
mean,
is a fair tactic.
we're giving it to people who are competent.
Yes, but we are not the only ones here, no.
Right. We can sell it to the merchants and they can sell it to whoever can make use of it.
I believe Grizak may be referring to your companions.
And
Nod my head. That too. Whatever.
but they are ours to dispose of as we wish.
I believe...
Yeah.
Yes. Iribeth trusts you. You've obviously returned successful. I don't believe anything you would do would cause these items to work against the crusade. I'm sure it will be quite all right.
True enough.
Yeah.
We can discuss specifics, but I would say most of the mundane items, the long spears, for instance, we should sell to the merchants now,
Makes sense.
because they would very quickly, or if not sell now,
You're referring to
offer.
the mundane spears, right?
Yeah, the 6
Yes.
regular long spears.
Okay, not the cool.
The ones the demons drop.
Okay, yeah,
And the billion glaives as well.
yeah.
And a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes
And
sense.
a number of crossbows and
All of
'cause-
which will go straight back into the war effort. I assume at this point the Eagle's Watch will simply purchase them. They certainly have the gold.
that sounds reasonable. That
Okay.
that being said, okay, player to player at this point,
Yeah.
we probably should go through our list of loot sometime fairly soon, decide what we want to keep, what we want to give to our followers. Honestly, I think we might discuss.
Honestly, I feel like we should discuss any of the loot like that stuff like offline.
I agree.
Right now.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
There is
With the
a lot of
exception of the sword that used to belong to Iomedae,
Yeah.
because she
Yeah,
might
you need to get
really
back
want
there.
that back.
Yeah.
is certainly a very nice sword. And yeah, I definitely, between here and the next session, we will put all the loot, like I said, in Discord. As it always is with Paizo Adventure Paths, this is the part where you guys get paid, and you will be paid well.
Yay.
As this conversation is going on, your followers and some of the Crusaders have taken the bodies, and you can hear someone chanting prayers to Iomedae. Their what remains of the very shattered armor of some of the Crusaders is stripped off them and taken to the forge to be melted down. Their weapons are redistributed. And may the Inheritor bless their souls and keep them and take them to the mountain of heaven, that they may continue their fight evermore. And there's echoing chants back and forth. As that happens, there's another "ah" again. No one seems to notice it but you guys.
If any of the priests of Torag are around, it might be a good time for me to wander over and do the standard, hey guys, do I look different?
You walk over to where the forge is basically just 24/7. Hey! What? Is that? That's not. That's Delvin! I don't. They just kind of stare bleary eyed.
So I
Jaws.
take it I look different, masters.
Aye, you do. What in the name of Torag? What happened to you?
We were sent on a mission to the Grey Garrison, and if you are familiar with the mission, you will know what its objective was. We were successful, but when we were, we saw visions and were bathed in light, and I do believe it has perhaps changed us.
I see. You definitely look differently. Are you?
Well,
Are you? You don't even look like a Fargekin. You look like they look at each other like us, except a little bigger. Suppose you need a little more mead to keep yourself full at night, but sure.
well. Out of curiosity, am I at my normal size or am I still at my medium size?
At this point, the magic from the scale would have worn off, unless you want to kick it on again. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So am I no longer large?
Yeah, you're still large.
Okay. Well, that is gratifying.
Yeah.
So just for my own sake, the changes that we're talking about for Delvin are merely the ugliness of the gigantic features have mostly evaporated.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas before, the Forgekin were a curse from Girona, now he's just a very big dwarf.
Okay.
So I've become my goal. I'm a real dwarf.
Pretty much.
Just bigger.
I'm just the economy size.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're the plus one up dwarf.
You're the business size.
The
the
extra
Costco
guac of the dwarf
size.
world, if you will.
The Costco size.
Maybe a little more the industrial catering size, but
Big
Yeah,
dwarf
it's
is
like-
big.
It's like in Super Mario when you get the mushroom and you plus one up to get bigger. That's basically what you are now.
There is a very loud beep, beep, beep as he continues to be Mario, I guess. As I sit here and clean up our giant map of the Grey Garrison that we don't longer need at all.
Now is basically RP time for us, though, right?
Yeah, basically. So, Grizak, you are able to climb your butt up to the roof. The sun is out. The city is still burning, right? Like, there are still fires that are smoldering and things, but
Yeah.
it's really quiet, and the sun does
I guess.
shine down.
Yeah. Grazak has lots of stuff on his mind now. He's kind of like lifting his hand now and just watching the light like twinkle across his scales, just thinking to himself about, what he's doing
Mm-hmm.
with his life. Life used to be so simple for him. Just go hunt, kill, sleep. But now he's here and things aren't simple.
Mm-hmm. And as Grizak lays on the roof looking at his hand, and truly he's very, very, very bright, nobody seems to notice this, and there are people outside. The gate opens in the sky, and swooping down from it, it's about the size of Delvin, if you're not counting the wingspan, which is enormous, a golden dragon. It begins to circle Defender's heart before stopping and looking at you, and in Draconic,
What?
bring your friends, please.
Well, Grazak's just like, what?
The gold dragon leans forward and nudges you.
What?
I don't have all day. I need to get back to heaven. Go get your friends.
Wait, hold on. How big is this thing?
About twice your size.
What? He's kind of small. It's only twice this. Okay. What are? Okay, can I knowledge this thing? I
Yeah.
probably don't even have the knowledge for
Uh,
not Arcana, is it?
you could do nature. Arcana's also fine. Religion's fine.
Oh, religion.
Yeah.
Oh, that I can do.
As I now remember, you've literally seen this individual in your visions. The
Oh yeah, you're right.
young gold
You are.
dragon, peace through vigilance, one of the divine servants of the goddess Iomedae. What had been fabled to long and long time ago Iomedae and Apsu had a child together. The rumors are true.
And Grazak is still not sure how he feels about that. Considering that his race despises humans, and in his eyes, Iomedae is basically the god of mankind. And his god essentially did it with their god.
Yeah, Iomedae as the god of
I'm
mankind is pretty accurate, given that she inherited Eridan's title, hence
Yeah.
the whole inheritor bit.
It's funny because I remember like one of the first conversations we had when we started playing this game, like in character conversations, was about like the half dwarf, half giant comeuppance.
Yeah.
Just be like, how does that work? Giant would smush dwarf.
Well, in
How
the
the
words
tables
of
have turned.
Joseph Harvilla, magic!
How the tables have turned.
PTV, as I will call them, pierce the veil. They ask you if you imagine living like a king someday. I'm just going to keep spitting out random lyrics, I guess, all session.
Right.
Just continues to swarm.
Anyway,
Friends,
oh sorry.
friends, please.
Yeah, Grazak climbs down a little shakily. Delvin, little one. Tempe. Grazak just kind of points up to where a literal avatar of, I guess not his god, but an actual divine being of his god is just there.
What are you mumbling? Oh, hello.
Well, he was outside, we are inside. So he comes in looking shaken. Okay, what do I get out of a 13 sense motive?
Oh, I'll be dragging you guys
It's-
out at this point.
Is this like danger or
No, you come now.
uh,
Now, big yard.
sword comes out and you said now? You have a lot of dwarf heading your direction.
No.
And Delvin comes storming out of the front of Defender's Heart. At this point, Peace Through Vigilance has landed in the courtyard. Again, no one else seems to see them. And as the four of you step forward, it's as if time kind of like stops a little bit. Please, Delvin, that would shatter on my scales. It seems very nice. Please don't attack me with it.
You're
I believe I misunderstood the reason for urgency. My apologies.
you are a child of the Waybringer, a true child, but also of their god.
That's correct.
Why?
Let's
Why are
just
you
say
here?
that up there, I suppose up is a relevant term given planar, and he begins spitting out planar math that goes over everybody's head. There are bigger things to worry about. We understand that your tribe and humans have not, well, you haven't done the best. And that's fair. We understand that not everybody makes the best decisions, but... Oh, by the way, Terendelev says, hi, Grazak. She's very proud of you. And we're all very proud of the four of you. You just as easily could have, and he takes in the rest of all of you, gone back to the mountains, gone back to the dwarf homes, the first world. You could have gone back to your tribe, but you guys stood up against impossible forces.
I will interject and go, wait, that's possible?
I assume
I could have gone back.
there are plenty of gates to the first world all over the place. Maybe not in, I guess you don't call it Sarkoris anymore. I guess not here, but you could go to, there are plenty of places in the Stolen Lands, I think it is. There's some forest, and he points due west. Plenty of gates. But you fought, and you fought bravely. And I'm sorry that Mom and Dad can't help as much as they'd like to. It's complicated. Very many, If one god comes down and helps, then all the other gods do, and, well, you mortals... He snaps his claws as the notion of everything popping out of existence as all the gods do battle. It's just not pretty. We can't do it. Desna tried to do it once. It was really bad. No more. But...
I would have liked to have seen that battle.
Same. But we're not going to sit
Desna.
idly by and not reward your sacrifices. You took the time to take the fallen from the garrison. You took the time to honor the fallen. You cleaned up shrines, and you, again, foes beyond your ken. You slayed them. And now look at you. I've yet to see power like this in all of my years. And starting with Grizak, Peace Through Vigilance's claw comes forward, and he just kind of... The amount of force that a young gold dragon, still a large creature, could put behind this claw is considerable. But it just kind of feels like a raindrop just on your head. That was a very loud raindrop.
Yeah,
You know how rain works.
You
You live in Washington. You know exactly how raindrops work.
I am intimately aware of how rain works.
And you're from Florida, where
I
it
imagine
rains
it's
every
just
night.
like a little boop on the snout.
Yeah, pretty much. And then in turn, Kieran's is... You expect Kieran to just... But not quite. And to Tempe, to Delvin. We track 7 devotion points earned from a mechanic throughout the Grey Garrison. In return for your bravery, in return for cleaning up house, in return for a lot of things. The 4 of you all receive a permanent +2 bonus to a skill of your choice, and 5 permanent hit points.
Okay.
That's good.
That's
good.
Yes.
that's just a little bit more than just good.
Peace Through Vigilance, goes to flap his wings to take off. I'm sorry we can't help as much as we want. Yes? He lands back down.
Just you honor us, but I am not like the others here. I fought and stayed truly because I have nowhere else to go. Because I thought this is what she would have wanted, but why me? I do wish I could go home, but I know I cannot.
Well,
I am confounded.
and when
by
you
all
serve the
this.
Waybringer, you don't really have a home. It is our fate to wander. But at least for now, Dad would like you to stay here. There are, of course, Dad says that this too shall pass, and, well, Dahak one day, and here, and lots of fire, and we'll get to that when we get to that. But right now, let's just say that, and he smiles really broadly as he does so, his teeth flash with holy light, not unlike Grizak's do. We need somebody with chompers like me, right here, right now. Can you help us?
I'm still not sure if I will.
Thank you, Paladin.
I will try anyway.
And we have faith you will succeed. You have...
Phone ringing.
Feel the moment.
God. Hold on, I have to take this. Mom's calling. Yes, Mom, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Hold on. We're role-playing, Mom! Slams down the phone.
I've already had that blow up a few times today.
Yeah, so I've heard. It's all good. I definitely lived at home until like a year ago, so no judgment from Tommy. In any case, Peace Through Vigilance regards the rest of the squad. You have lots of friends. Some that, well, if they were to see me, the notion of divine beings and minds that cannot comprehend, he puts his 4 claws up to his head and like to pantomime a brain exploding, basically. But when you have someone who's about as big as, and he plucks off a scale that was like about to shed, about that big, but can hit And he throws his head back and unleashes a gout of holy fire, which again, no one seems to notice. But can hit like that when you have someone who doesn't need to be as big as he is. But again, well, hedge your bets. And the literal wind at your back, we have a lot of faith. Now, if you'll excuse me, unless there are any other questions, any of you. Mom just called. She's worried. God.
Understood.
Literally.
If it is possible, if you would bring the attention of the Lord of the Forge to the Forge Kin and let him know that we are attempting to atone for the evil we have become.
Of course, we understand completely.
Oh. Now that we're doing this, since we are doing that, my people probably don't even know if I am still alive. They've probably forgotten me already. Could you, I don't know, send a message, a sign to them?
Well,
Some kind. To know that our Father, know that the Waybringer has not forgotten them.
of course.
And that I haven't forgotten them.
As far as Delvin, as far as you say, we understand of all people that sometimes things that are born of evil can become good, and sometimes creatures born with the purest of heart can fall. What Girana did's not your fault. We understand. And as for you, Grizak, and Peace Through Vigilance, divine servant of a deity, reaches out its claw. The claw touches you in the chest. You feel magic pulsating into you. Do you want to try to resist?
I'm not sure. I guess not.
And in a snap,
I probably couldn't if I wanted to anyway.
Grizak, the scale that had been shed off by Peace Through Vigilance is in your left hand. You instinctively know if you crush this scale, you will teleport back to Defender's Heart. And out of nowhere, you drop into the middle of your village. Everyone is taken aback at what appears to be like a silver half-dragon. Just popping in.
Wait. What? Oh. I'm here
You
now?
got dim-doored.
You wanted to make sure they knew you were okay? Well, go ahead, tell them.
Okay, well...
The elder of the tribe approaches you and just... Is that Grazak? What?
Okay.
What has become of you?
It is a long story. Okay, out of character, there was a lot of stuff that it was going to be... I take it you prepared for this part, because...
My real middle name is Patrick. My YouTuber middle name is Improvisation. Prepare. Bah. The chief of... And God, that's the first time in almost 30 years I've willingly told people my middle name. Take with that as you will, friends, on YouTube and in party.
No, this is Patrick. That's probably the farthest anybody will go with it.
Pretty much. The chieftain of this particular tribe of Iruxi, as that's their racial name now, just kind of leans on his quarterstaff. Just, what? You appear as one of the Silvers. Ah, yes. As I drift over to the D100, as the IOPC watches me and mocks me for letting the percentage dice decide the tone of the campaign. High or low, Nick?
Let's go high.
He left, perhaps an hour ago. Off hunting, I suspect.
Suppose he will return.
Eventually.
And, I take it like everyone is just staring at me right now.
A crowd has formed, yes.
Okay. I I needed some time to sit. I need to sit for right now. Is that okay if I do that?
He nods.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I was just out of character. I was a little taken aback by this.
Welcome to Pathfinder.
No kidding.
The rest of the Uruxi kind of sit as well. Some of the younger ones move forward, and the light shines off your scales, and they ooh and they ah. Grazak, what? Your crest, your scales. When did you become a dragon? I do not understand.
I don't either, to be honest. It was a blessing, I suppose.
It appears that way, yes.
Spoke with them. I met them. I spoke with, well, a child of the Waybringer. It was a great golden drake. But, there's something else I should tell you about them, but perhaps another time.
Leaving us already, are you?
I did not say that. Is Kruchiku here? Okay, for anybody who's out of the loop here, a while back I did mention two characters that Grazak does know. One was Zugatsu, who was his brother. Another was Kruchiku, who I said was Grazak's like his girlfriend, his mate. A while back we made a joke about that. I think it was mentioned at some point.
And she steps out from the
Was
crowd,
mentioned.
and she regards you and just, Grazak! You are.
Kruchaku.
Her jaw drops and she runs up and embraces you. You must have quite the story.
How have you been?
Well, you know, when you disappear,
This season? How many of them hatched this season?
there are
Did
several.
they take two?
You count
That is good.
a couple dozen.
All right. That is good. Very good. All right. I sit down and I basically tell them the whole spiel of what's been going on
Okay.
about traveling across Numeria, how weird and horrifying that place was, and even how scarier still it was in Menendev. Am I pronouncing that right?
Mendev. Mendev.
Menendev. It was like, yeah, this was a lot for this character in particular to take in, just coming from a simple village life and then getting
The world got
basically
really big really
spirited away
fast.
by fate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Everyone is taken aback at this. Why? You've been on quite a journey, my love. And chosen by the gods. The elder
Not
nods
just our
thoughtfully.
gods.
Yes.
The gods of the men and of dwarfs and, well, the war that I'm taking a part on is one against the very enemies of life itself. Not just of our kind or our enemies, but all things that live and breathe on this earth. The elders say that this world will end with her and the betrayer fighting, but I'm afraid that the threat that I'm fighting now might bring about that end a bit earlier than it should be.
So what do you intend to do, Grizak?
Oh. What I want to do is stay here. To come back to everyone here and you. But I'm not sure if my fate is truly in my hands anymore. I have to go back to them. I came here just wanting to let you all know that I was still here, but I must leave.
Of course.
And Grazak will go out to his tribe and, announce that he needs to head back. The Waybringer has not forgotten them. And all that, yada yada. But there's a great war in the north, and I have to go back and fight it. And I will try to return.
Okay.
One way or the other when it's over. Or at least when my role is, over and done with.
Makes sense. They all nod in understanding. Kurojiku comes up and embraces you.
Yeah. It's mentioned in the lore. I'm not sure if, the lizard folk really feel emotions like love or anything like that, at least in the same sense, but I guess, yeah, for the sake of this, we can all sentient
humanoid races feel emotions in the same way. There is, just because you are playing a monstrous race does not make you a monster. Your society might function a little differently in terms of what, relationship dynamics look like.
It's like the Vulcan rules where, the Spocks and all them don't really feel emotion, at least not in the same way that any of the other, in the same way that people do.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
A Vulcan may not necessarily feel... Well, no. I believe the better analogy is a Vulcan feels love. A Vulcan does not act impulsively. They don't feel NRE. They don't feel lust. They don't feel the honeymoon phase. Basically, their love comes from a place of logic. Whereas the Iruxi, as we must use, as that's what they're called now, as second edition is a thing, is you have a similar setup. Kurojiku loves you. Your tribe, such as it is, based on the system you had set up, there is certainly a deep respect and admiration. It may not necessarily be the wife, 2 kids, white picket fence lifestyle.
Yeah, it's not
but it
bad,
exists.
But there's a bond.
Yeah. I guess one way to say it is Grazak probably has a lot more children, and it might be possible for I don't know exactly how many eggs a lizard folk
scions to be born.
Correct, yes.
Is that what you're getting at?
More or less. So you go, you say your goodbyes, Kurojiku embraces you, and as you squeeze the scale that Peace Through Vigilance gave you to warp back, you squeeze a little too hard, and your claws pierce the flesh of you. And as you pop back into Defender's Heart, there's the ow is accompanied, and you look up as this happens, so no one is in danger. And people have come back to mill about now that the time oopsie from Peace Through Vigilance is now gone, and a gout of frozen air fires out. I like to give my players boons for backstories and things. Usually I do it on the 4s, but I think after the garrison is a good time to reward people because holy crap, that was hard. And Grazak's is twofold. And I don't regret giving the second part to Nick, because I know this will cause Nick to question everything. But that's fun. The first part is Grazak automatically meets all prerequisites for the Dragon Disciple Prestige class if he chooses. He is considered to have a Draconic bloodline. He is considered to be an Arcane caster, but more fun than that, I want to make sure... I've actually never used a metallic dragon my whole life, so I don't know if I have a cone or a line. Oh, someone tell me! Oh, jeez, Rick, where is my breath weapon? There we go. Dolt. Oh, bam. Is it a line or is it a cone? It's Man, why can't where is it? I just need to know. It's a cone. Okay, so a 30-foot cone, cold damage breath weapon, usable once a day. As a swift action, you can expend a use of mythic power to reset that once a day.
And how much damage is it?
1d6 per level. Reflex based on your con. Your con or your charisma, whichever is higher.
Okay.
And as this happens, he reappears, and there's a big loud sneeze of cold that fires up, and the rest of the party is out here and sees this. And Kieran, who has taken to standing on the ground, almost gets like stepped on by Grazak, and Kieran kind of just vibrates really, 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 really fast.
I am so sorry.
And everyone realizes they've lost track of Kieran. He just vibrates unnecessarily fast and then is gone.
Phase shift.
Oh no! Oh no! Did I accidentally kill the little one?
And
I didn't mean
Kieran,
to.
you of course are standing right where you are, but you realize everyone has no ability to see you.
I'll check my boots real quick. Just in case.
There is no Kieran on anybody.
This is probably a moot point, but I guess I'll do perception check.
Of course. Kieran may stealth as though invisible.
Oh wow, I rolled a 20 on that.
Not bad. I think Kieran may also need to unmute. Stop eating your chips! Okay, yeah. No one has any idea where Kieran is.
Plus 40, because of course he flippin' does.
Yeah.
That's okay. I feel a little bad for nabbing the spotlight totally unintentionally there for a while, but...
Don't. That's the whole point of the game.
Oh boy.
No, that
So
was flavor.
Yeah.
So I take a step forward.
And you reappear. And everybody sees Kieran like vibrate as if he were about to like explode horribly, and just kind of like steps back in. And then when he stops moving, he disappears again.
That is unusual.
Can we hear him?
That would
I don't
depend
know.
on-
Can you hear
Little
me?
one.
As
Little
Kieran
one,
says
where
that,
are you?
Kieran, I don't know. Can you hear me? And you guys all hear him.
Okay, yes.
Are you still drinking more of those strange little potion juices? Is that what's going on here? Is this what
I don't
side
think
effects?
so this time, but it makes my life a lot more fun.
Fun for you, bad for everything else.
I puke my cat out and mount it.
And the
That's
motion of
gross.
mounting the cat is the puking is as if the cat jumps out of nowhere. And you guys all see Kieran mount the cat, and then when Kieran stops moving, Kieran disappears.
24 on a spellcraft check. Do I have any idea? Do I have a good guess at what's going on?
He's clearly somehow invisible, but he doesn't seem to be controlling it. It's just a matter of like when he doesn't move.
The cat will trot forward.
Okay. And so it does.
Do I reappear?
Make a ride check. As if you were prepped for that. Oh, there you go. So Kieran, as the cat trots forward, Kieran like gets a little jostled in the saddle, and as his body moves, that bits of body reappear, and then when he's able to like hold himself still, he disappears.
It appears that you...
So when you move, you can be seen. But when you do not move, you cannot be seen.
That seems to be the tale.
Wait, what happened while I was gone?
I don't really know either. I will be back. I go to the elf man who is named Eravashniel
Okay.
and ask if they have any prisoners.
We do not.
Okay.
Unfortunately. For them, the
Do you have any
prisoners
criminals?
shakes head no. He misses the mark, but this time only by like 5 degrees, because he makes the thumbs up and then points it 90 degrees towards himself, and pantomimes like slitting his throat. He of course can like feel where his throat is, so he can get there. Just shakes his head, does this.
Okay. I go find a wall
There are many.
and I shoot my sling at it.
Okay. The pebble appears as it flies out, and it like there is the sound of a high-speed pebble hitting a stone wall. People notice it, and you like for the swinging of the arm, you are visible, and then the snap forward to make the sling go, and then once you stop moving, people like see and and then you go away and where'd he go? That kind of thing.
This will work.
And as you like realize, oh, this is good, you it fades away, and everyone can see you again, except for Eravashniel, because, well, you know, when you tangle with a Baylor.
You know,
He didn't have much say in that, though.
Indeed.
I saunter back over to the rest of the group. Well, it was fun while it lasted.
And Kieran
Yeah,
kind of
fun.
feels like a... How do I describe the first world is fun. Play more Fae. I enjoy flavor texting for the Fae. The feeling in your stomach is not unlike, oh, geez, I'm really hungry, and not unlike gas buildup, not unlike heartburn, but much farther down than heartburn should happen. And you feel like if you were to push... Oh, God, I didn't mean to go that far. It's the first world. It'll be fine. In a mechanical sense, by expending one use of mythic power for 1 round, you gain the natural invisibility ability of a Quickling. Why? Because Adam and I have been talking about that for about a year.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
The idea of playing a Quickling Rogue is just so much fun.
So much broken. But 1 use of mythic power for a round for what is a don't move, you are invisible. Seems good. And as Kieran appears, the wind also it kind of picks up against Tempe's will. Not like to blow the party, but a bit of like an errant wind blows a bit of trash across everyone's field of view, and it flows towards Tempe, and as it contacts Tempe, it is violently pushed backwards. There's the sound of an enormous downdraft as this little piece of paper just... And now I wonder if Tim is muted.
No.
Is he muted?
What?
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
So what? I got pushed.
You did not. There was a bit of trash
Oh, okay.
blows in your direction, and it like contacts your like chest, and then a gust of wind pushes it back.
Okay. Can I grab the? What is it?
You probably could. It's gone pretty far. It's probably landed 30 feet out.
Okay. I'll go see what it is.
Okay.
Kieran, being Kieran, sees an opportunity to have fun, and I will haul as fast as I can on the ground, which is only a 20-foot base movement speed, and like jump up on to Tempe's back and see what happens.
Okay.
Because I have wings.
Sure. Why not? Okay. Doing a read. Tiny or smaller creature, indeed. If Kieran can make a fly check. As we've gone to the first PvP of Wrath of the Righteous. A 21 is not good enough. As Kieran goes running and jumps onto Tempe, and Tempe's not aware of it. Probably is aware of, like, here's Kieran, and then turns and sees. And then when the contact happens, there's a violent pushback. And poor Kieran is thrown back for Oh my. Oh my. Okay, here we go.
Oh no.
I expected this kind of.
Wind. Strong winds, his one weakness.
And Team Rocket is blasted off again, about 40 feet back, as you take. Oh gosh, spooky. 6 points of damage as you are thrown back, land on the ground, and as you contact the ground and roll an additional 40 feet and take 8 points of non-lethal damage as Kieran is just yeeted 80 feet.
I feel the air around me like
Very.
change a little bit, and I noticed that something was behind me. I look behind me and I just see the end of him like scraping his face across the ground. Like, what'd you just do?
That was not what I wanted to happen. I was expecting a gliding run. I needed beer.
and you just hear Delvin start to lose it in the background. You look over, you see Delvin look at Tempe, look at Kieran, look at Tempe, look at Kieran, and just say to Kieran,
Meanwhile, I'm just
the same thing happened to me whenever I snuck up on my grandma.
and for the first time in ever, Grazak actually manages to chuckle.
We did it.
Actual
I'll walk
one.
back over to Tempe and be like,
That.
ow.
Oh, that was joke. I get it now. I think. Baby steps.
And as everybody
Okay.
gets back together, very out of, as I check my map of the inner sea, very, very out of place for this far north and this far inland. I guess if a deity's sacred colors are blue and gold and your favored or your sacred animal is a seagull, I suppose that just looks like a Wingull, doesn't it? Yeah. It is a Wingull, a little 3rd gen flying water Pokemon, circles overhead and it dives down. It gets about a foot and a half off the ground in a straight nosedive before there's like a faint popping motion, and all the remains of it as it floats gently down to the ground, about as long as like a human's from bird finger to wrist.
I will fly into Delvin's beard.
And that's a safe place. A blue and gold feather.
Is Dumbo going to learn how to fly?
For the first time since the fight with the blood demons, Tempe realizes that the wind around her is not dangerous unless something like that might to maybe happen, but it is unstable. Delvin's beard is weighed down by a Kieran, but it is very fooshy in the wind. As you go and you pick up this feather, and you feel like the wind coalesces around it, almost like a little tiny cyclone forms up around this feather. It kind of shakes, and your hand to wrist shakes as well, and then it all just kind of ceases, and the wind still blows, but you can feel it both comes from within you and within this feather, as if like the baton directs the orchestra, so too can this holy feather direct the wind.
Huh.
And by expending 1 use of mythic power, you may cast Gust of Wind. Caster level is your caster level, and the saves involved are based off your charisma.
Okay,
Cool.
so I can do Gust of Wind. Wait, do I already have that spell?
It's on the
Isn't that on the druid list?
Blood Rager 2, Druid 2, Magus 2, Sorcerer Wizard 2, the Catastrophe Subdomain, and the Air Elemental School.
Yeah. Not in the cleric school though. But that's cool though.
Unless you happen to, I will do a quick double check.
Yes.
I'm gonna, before we get to Delvin's, I want to check the mystery involved here. which is, remind me, Tim, the
Wind mystery.
Wind mystery. If you get that, then we're going to change it. Well, yeah, you get it as a bonus spell at 4th. So rather,
Okay.
since you don't have 4th level spells yet, what I'll say is you can cast it by spending a use of Mythic Power now. Once you get that as a bonus spell, spend a use of Mythic Power to maximize it.
Okay, cool.
And all of the closets in the Abyss get wrecked. As we pivot, lastly, I guess really quickly, there is one more event that would happen before Book 2 prior starts, if we have like 20 more minutes. If we don't, we'll just quickly tag up with Delvin and then say goodbye. I don't know.
I would prefer not.
Dope. Okay, so then Delvin, before we go to
What we
the
get.
point where the game actually hands out the rewards, as all of these shenanigans are going on, it's about the size of like a baseball. No one seems to notice it. Kieran is still like trying to pop his shoulder back into place. Grizak is a little colder than he used to be, and Tempe is like the baton of wind. She's become the Wind Waker, is what this is. A boat appears. It has a red dragon on it, and we're gonna play some GameCube. But it's about the size of a baseball, just made of earth. It seems to coalesce out of nowhere, and it, not unlike a basketball, like bounces up into your hand.
Okay. Now take a good look at it.
It rolls around on like several different axes. It appears to be, like, as it pulsates with magic, is the closest description you might possibly think as you look at this is like a baby earth elemental. Not very big, not big enough to form a shape, but it's there.
Oh. And what would you be, little one?
It makes its way, it rolls up your wrist. That's pretty accurate, Nick. It is like Flubber, but made of magic mud. Robin Williams appears, and we all press F to pay respects. Up rolls this little thing, up your bicep, up your, like, to your shoulder. It doesn't have, like, olfactory senses, but it seems to sniff. As it kind of just, like, nudges you on the neck. As that happens, it seems to, like, push into your flesh. The sensation is weird as it pushes in, and you can feel, like, almost like a bruise forming, that kind of thing, as it goes inside and then rolls back out, and then rolls back again, and then rolls down, back to your hand. And the rest of the squad, as they see this little thing, like, form almost a hammer shape in Delvin's hand before fading into, like, loose mud and gravel and just kind of collapsing on the ground. Delvin's skin has turned from the color that it was prior to a gravelly grayish color. It lasts for a couple of seconds before it fades back and Delvin goes back to how Delvin looked prior. And the ground beneath him dips a little. Delvin has to, like, catch himself a little bit as with, like, a V shape pops in the ground and then forms back. Stony boy and scaly boy unite. Delvin may spend one use of mythic power to recharge his daily casting of Stone Shape, as a creature from the plane of Earth has somehow merged its essence with your mythicness.
Cool.
And that is where we will call it for today. In 2 weeks, I'll hand out the real rewards for Wrath of the Righteous Book 1. I have so much to say about this AP. I don't even, like, that was the hardest dungeon I've ever seen in all my youth, in all my adulthood. But we got through it. This many down, this many to go. And it only gets scarier from here, kids, because they've got lots of mythic power. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to my players and patrons for helping us do that crazy stuff we do. And we will see you next time. Say bye, everyone.
See you guys later.
Bye.
So